this morning. Guys, we are on day 3 of our 7-day marathon where we're talking about salon ownership. And for those of you who've never been in a live broadcast with me before, I'll do a quick introduction. I am Tanya Wilson Cherry. I'm a business consultant and certified life coach. I have a 20 plus year background, probably I think about 23, 24 years as a licensed cosmetologist and 10 years as a former salon owner. Hey there on Facebook. I help beauty industry professionals like yourself form working systems in their business that are relevant, that help take them to the next level, that help them maintain the customers they have, get new customers, and profit, which is why we're in business, right? To profit. And I believe that your mind, it has a lot to do with your money. So on today, we are actually on day 3. Let me kind of move this over. I have so many devices up here to make sure I can see comments from everyone on Facebook here. Hey guys, see you guys joining. As we're on the broadcast, if I say something that helps your business or your life, tap the screen for hearts to show love. If you are my Periscope followers, I cannot see you when you're joining the room. I can see the numbers rising, but I can't see who. And I want to say hello. So make sure that you say hello in the comments, and then I'm able to see your name. Also, you can swipe up or right to share with other beauty industry professionals who want some of the goods on salon ownership. Good morning, Sojourner. How are you, dear? And tap the screen for hearts to show love. On Facebook, you can also tap the screen for hearts to show love if I say something that helps your business, and press the little share button on the left hand side to share out with another industry professional who wants the goods behind the scenes, right, of salon ownership. And on Instagram, unfortunately, you guys can't. You can tap the screen though, so that's great, but you can't share out just yet. I think Instagram is working on that. So guys, if you saw my title, I put the biggest problem salons have. The biggest problem salons have. If any of you think you may be aware of what that problem is, put it in the comments. As I roll out, you can put it in the comments. Hey, Charnay, how are you? Good morning, darling. And guys, we're going to talk about your commitment, your profits, and your plans today. But I was wondering if anyone had an idea of what the biggest problem is that most salons have. Any guess? Anybody brave enough to put it in the comments? Because I'm sure we have many issues as salon owners that we look to overcome and to become the victor over in our businesses. But as a business consultant that helps stylists and salon owners run their business more effectively all the time, one of the biggest problems that I see is most salon owners and most hairstylists cannot separate their skill set from their business. I'm going to say that again. Most hairstylists and most salon owners cannot separate their skill set from their business, and they're two separate entities. Somebody put that in the comments. They're two separate things. Your skill set and the business aspect are two separate things. And so I don't know. I think that because our industry is so visual, right? We're really into making people look good that sometimes we forget that we're not in our hair salon is not the business that we're in. We're actually running a business. And you know what normally happens is we have stylists who work and work and work and work, and they're two separate things, absolutely. And they never really profit. It's not that money doesn't come in, because there are definitely stylists who are making money hand over fist, who have money coming in all the time, but they just haven't seemed to be able to figure out how to profit in it, right? How to take care of their entire lifestyle, run the business, and make over what the bills cost, make over what their living expenses cost. And that's mainly because, you know, they haven't been able to separate skill set from business. I see many stylists who will, you know, I'll use Bronner Brothers, for instance, because we just had a big show in our industry, and I am one who believes in continued education. I've gone to so many hair shows over my 20 plus years. I can't even, begin to count. And I've probably even forgotten some of the different places I've traveled to go and get, extra knowledge on my particular industry. And probably maybe my sixth or seventh year, I realized that, I had enough skill set, right, at that time, that I actually needed something else. So when I began going to the hair shows and things of that nature, I began going to the business classes. I began going to, finding out how to make my business run more effectively. Hey there, you just purchased the salon in the Philippines. Awesome. Well, this is going to be a great scope for you. We are actually doing a 7-day marathon on salon ownership. I'm going to do a quick reset for those newcomers coming in the room. I'm Tanya Wilson Cherry. I'm a business consultant and certified life coach. I have a 20+ year background in the beauty industry as a licensed cosmetologist and 10 years as a salon owner. I help entrepreneurs like yourself maintain their clients, get new clients, and actually profit in their business. And it really does my heart, because I see so many salons who really, they feel as if they're profiting because they're constantly maybe doing customers. But at the end of the day, when the books come out, great, you're looking forward to it. Will you have a question time? Absolutely. There will be time for question and answers as well during this particular broadcast. So the floor will be open for that. And so, it's huge for me, because we have to learn how to do business. Most of us have learned how to do hair, and each and every year we will continue to invest in getting more skill set. But you can have all the skill set in the world, but if you don't have a client to do it on, right? If you don't have the clients to do it on, and then if you don't know how to implement that particular skill set into your business where it's effective, the next thing is that skill set that you're learning even something that your customers desire? And I'm gonna give you guys an example. A few phases that I went through in the salon that I owned for 10 years. In the beginning, I, strictly focused on hair, and then I was a salon and a boutique, which actually did really well. I just didn't understand. I think I was impatient about the profits, because I began profiting early in that extra stream of income that was in the salon. I actually had a salon and boutique where I sold specialty clothing items. My building was a huge building. And then I transitioned into a salon and spa where we had massage therapists, estheticians, nail techs, things of that nature. And so, when you transition to a new phase in your salon, just from the things that I've mentioned, that means new equipment. I had to buy pedicure chairs and massage tables and, massage beds, or beds for the estheticians to do facials and things of that nature. But one of the things that I realized slowed up some of the process in that is because I bought equipment, right, that took me a long time to recap my money from, because my particular set of clients had no interest in that particular piece of what that particular piece of equipment would do. And so a lot of times we go to hair shows, and I believe in buying new tools and buying things that are going to help you to improve what you're already doing, or to introduce new things to your customers. But if your particular target market or your particular customer base doesn't have a desire for those particular things, oftentimes, we're investing money in things that are not going to yield us a profit, or it takes so long to yield a profit from it, mainly because we don't even know the business side of it. Like, how do we market even to our customers or to external customers in order to get our money back off of all of that new equipment and those new things that we're doing? I think that, guys, at some point in your career, it is a wise decision to invest your money into how to do business, how to do the business side of your business, right? Because doing hair is really not your business. it's your skill set that you use inside your business. So if you don't have systems and foundational things in place that's going to make the business run, you can easily find yourself just working. And I talk to you guys about that all the time. So if you've, been on with me before, you've heard me say that many hairstylists find themselves behind the chair just working and never really feeling fulfilled, in their business, or as if they're truly profiting, because they don't really know business, right? And so we're going to talk about three things, right, that I think are important, that I think we think that we're doing, but in actuality, we really aren't, in the salon industry or as salon owners. One, your commitment, your profits, and your plan. Your commitment, your profits, and your plan. If I can get somebody to put that in the comments for me, your commitment, your profits, and your plan. Because we can be fooled, as I said before, into thinking that because we're doing a lot of customers that we're profiting. But are we charging enough for the particular business that we have in order to produce a profit, right? Do we have a real plan? And I'm going to give you guys an example of a salon or a hairstylist who has a separate business who really doesn't have a plan. And I know these may not be things that everybody wants to hear. It's not all of the excitement about owning the business, but it is part of being a profitable business owner, which is what you are striving for. Commitment, profit, and plan. Absolutely. Which is what you're striving for. Absolutely, Sojourner. Commitment, profit, and plan. This is what you're striving for at the end of the day. I don't think sometimes in our mind, our goal is, to do a lot, I just want to do a lot of clients, but is it making sense? And so when I say commitment, this is what I mean. Many of us are committed, absolutely, Shamila. Many of us are committed to working in the business, but we're not committed to working on the business. You guys don't hear me. Tap the screen for hearts. I've got number 1 and 3. Yes, commitment, profit, and plan, right? And so many of us, as I said before, many of us are committed to working in the business. We don't mind going in and doing those 12 hours sometimes behind the chair, but we're not as committed to working on the business. Guys, I can remember a time, when I first opened my salon, a couple months in, maybe about 6 months in, my husband said, okay, you work all day and then you come home and you're still working. And so basically what he was saying to me was like, when we gonna get some time? And, I realized that, what I was doing was so important. Although I would go to work every day, there were some parts of my business that I had to find time or make time to work on. And guys, because many people say, I don't have the time because I work 10 to 12 hours. But if it's important to you, you'll find the time. If you feel that a website is necessary in today's times for your business, and I feel it is a very relevant thing in today's times. Yes, there are many businesses who are successful who don't have a website, but they also have a whole lot of other things into play. But many of you are attempting to market on social media and don't have a place for the people to go back to. That's what your website is. And so I took 10 hours, guys. I took one day for just 10 hours. I took breaks to eat a snack. I took breaks to, prepare dinner. But when I counted all of the hours that I spent in that one day, hey, Tamika, how are you, dear? I spent 10 hours building my website, right? At the time, I opened my salon in 2003. So having someone to build your website at that time was thousands of dollars. And for those of you who watched the broadcast on yesterday, there are no replays. So sorry if you're just joining. But for those of you who watched that broadcast, you know that I opened my salon debt free. And so, putting another $3,000 into a website wasn't possible, but I needed one. So I made a commitment, guys. I decided, I'm great, darling. Thanks for asking. I decided that it was important enough for me that I would find the time to work on my business as well as working in my business. So your level of commitment is going to make a huge difference. Of course, I had to figure out another plan because, it wasn't working for me to do all of, that working on the business during my family family time. So I restructured that, but I still found time to do it. Have you found social media to be effective? I have. I found social media to be effective. And when I operated a salon full time, I actually was hesitant about doing social media, and I hired college students. Worked my front desk as my customer care coordinators because they bring life to the place. And a lot of them were in positions like, what do you call it when they, maybe it'll come to my mind. I'm thinking of the different degrees that they had at school that they were aiming for. But anyway, they brought newness into the business, so they convinced me to begin using social media. And I made it clear to them that I only wanted to do it for business purposes. So I have found it effective, guys. It has definitely enlarged my opportunity to reach new people. As a matter of fact, many of you who are on now, I didn't know you before social media, right? If you met me on social media, or if this is your first time seeing me, put a 1 in the comments. If you met me on social media, or this is your first time seeing me, put a 1 in the comments. And this is how I'm just kind of letting you guys know that social media can be effective, because many people, the names that I see, especially on my Facebook broadcast that are on, are clients of mine. They've worked with me in some form or fashion. They've taken a class of mine, or they've done business with me. Absolutely, Sojourner says 1. They've done some type of business with me. Impact Magazine. Hey girl, how are you this morning, Tanisha? Thank you for joining the broadcast on Instagram. So yes, I have found it to be effective. Sharmilla found me on social media as well. Patrina found me on social media as well. So yes, I found it to be effective. But I was saying they convinced me to come on social media. But then, guys, you have to understand, once you're on social media, you've been using it to show before and after shots to advertise our services. That is amazing. I actually did a video content class. Wanted to check me out? Oh, thank you, darling. I actually did a video content class recently that talked about using social media and posting videos and before and afters to market your business. But your commitment, guys. So I was saying, and I'm kind of all over the place because I'm answering questions and then jumping back to what I was saying before, which is fine. You guys are definitely welcome to comment as we go along. I was the second seat from you. Oh, you met me at an event, Tamika? What event did you meet me at, dear? That's interesting. I had no idea. You met me at an event. Oh my goodness, you sure did. You sure did. Back in September. You sure did. Absolutely. That's amazing. That's awesome. So we know that there are plenty of things that we have to do in order to gain exposure in our business. And sometimes being in the right place at the right time can actually help you to grow your business. So we're talking about commitment. Guys, sometimes you have to say, I'm going to take at least an hour a day to work on my business and not just in my business. Absolutely. I remember that now, Tamika. Sometimes you have to say, I'm going to take at least 1 hour a day to work on my business and not just in my business, right? Because there are definitely things that you guys are going to have to do in order to run your business effectively. Okay, then we said commitment. That's commitment, right? You really got to be committed to this. The next thing we said was your profits. Guys, another thing that I did was, I was telling you guys before that I had gone to so many classes for hair, learning skill set, and I knew that I was opening a business. And so I took time and I invested in classes and coaches so that I could learn how to run my salon business. Because you can have 20 people who can do great hair working under one roof, and everybody can be struggling. Hello, somebody. You can have 20 people in one building and they all can do great hair, but everyone can still be struggling if they don't understand how to do business. And so your profits are definitely what's going to keep you in business, what's going to help you to profit. Here are 4 things that I think are important about business that will help you to maximize your profits. And one is going to be your leadership skills. And I know a lot of people think, as long as I can do hair, I don't need leadership skills. But if your leadership skills suck, let's just keep it 100, you're not going to be able to keep staff. right? You're not going to be able to handle it when you have a client or a customer who's confrontational, if your leadership skills aren't up to par. Because most people tell more about what they dislike about your business. When they leave your place, they're more apt to share what they dislike about your business than they will about what they actually enjoy about your business. And so a disgruntled customer, are your leadership skills, are you in a position to be able to handle that? Or are you going to get frustrated, and then that's going to be what's rumored about your particular business? Also, your leadership skills are going to come into place because you're going to have staff issues. If you plan on having staff or booth rentals, do you have a way, do you know how you're going to handle those things? Because all of those things are going to affect your business. The next thing I think that business owners, salon owners, need to shift their thinking about is selling to their family and friends. I think they need to shift their expectations of selling to their family and friends. You guys can count on one hand the number of family members that you have who are actually going to come and support you and pay your full price, which is what you really need to keep your business running profitably. You can probably count that on one hand, and that's not enough to actually run your business, right? And so you have to learn how to market to people who are outside of your everyday friends and family list. You got to be able to do that, right, in order to receive a profit. And being as though we were talking about social media, I find that many people, when they post on social media, they're looking to get connections and support and things from family and friends. It's rare, guys. They see you all the time. They probably hear about your business all the time, guys. Your focus needs to be on creating a strategy that's going to allow you to attract people who aren't necessarily your family and friends. You guys hear me? Who aren't necessarily your family and friends. And one of the ways to do that is to have a strategy. And this is where my next point that I wanted to make for you guys, because I have 4 of them for you that are going to help you with your business aspect of running your salon, is your timing. Your timing is going to make a huge difference in your business. And this is what I mean by that. How many times, and you don't have to put it in the comments, but we got to keep it 100. I know it happens. Maybe things are a little slow, and all of a sudden you post a sale that you're having, right? You just jump up and post a sale that you're having. You had no plan, no thought, no strategy connected to that particular promotion or sale that you're doing. Consumers need to see you almost 7 times where you're getting business from Yelp. Awesome. And that's so great, because you actually get referrals and reviews and things of that nature that help your business. And so reviews are important to your business, guys. Reviews are important. And so we were talking about timing, right? And many of you are just haphazardly posting your sales and things like that because it just so happened to be slow in that season. But if you actually create a marketing plan, you now have a strategy, right? You're planning your marketing based on the world's timing. People are expecting particular things from you in February, right? They're expecting particular sales around Christmas, but you can't market them on Valentine's Day or the day before Valentine's. You guys understand that? So timing is so essential to your business, because many of you may feel like, okay, well, I'm Russell Shaw. Hey, Russell, how are you? Many of you feel like, I'm marketing my business, but are you marketing it properly? And then are you marketing your business to people who actually want to do business with you? And this ties back to many people attempting to market to their friends and family, because if all of your efforts are going to people who are on your friends and family list, but they aren't people who ever come and spend money with you, yes, eventually you're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel exhausted. And so you have to learn, who is my target market? This is who I need to market to. And this is the business side of salon ownership. And we have a barber in the room as well, and barbershop ownership that most of us skip over. Also, it's important to do target market specific to the salon, gender, age, and location. Well, that is gender, age, and location is actually part of target marketing. For those of you who took my salon email plan, the first thing that I taught you guys was how to figure out who your target market is. Because if you are marketing, are you marketing to the right people? Listen, there are many people on social media with 10,000 likes, thousands of views on maybe videos, and hardly any of those people are actually spending money with them. Let's keep it 100. If y'all know what I'm talking about, put me in the comments. You know, there are a lot of people with a lot of likes on their posts. They have a lot of views on maybe their videos, but a very, very, very small percentage of the people who are liking or viewing their promotions or their marketing are actually doing business with them. And that's because they haven't created a target market. They're mass marketing. They're just trying to get it out to as many people as possible, but it's not people who really want to spend money with them. So at the end of the day, you know, they feel frustrated. Absolutely, they feel frustrated because they're making efforts that aren't really producing a profit for them. And so this is the business side of it. You need to fly me to the Philippines. Well, I actually consult virtually, so it's not a problem. And my consultations, you actually get to see me as you do now, and I see you as well. So but I definitely am open to being flown to the Philippines as well. So if you make that happen, if someone's buying, I'm flying, and I'm bringing my knowledge with me. Do one-on-one consultations for salon industry professionals, and I actually have an excellent program, mentorship and branding boot camp for salon owners and hairstylists that's happening. It's actually available to purchase now, though, and the link to that is. But yes, I'm definitely open to being flown out to the Philippines as well if you need my help. So guys, you know, we really have to know that we don't just own. Could you please repeat that again? And actually, the link to the mentorship and branding bootcamp is in my bio on Periscope, if you want to check that out as well. I'm not sure if my email address is up there, but once you get on, let's see, I think I have a video from YouTube. There's ways to contact me in my bio if you can't get the email address properly. Or if you put your email in the comments, I'll make sure to send you an email, and then you can email me back so we don't have any confusion. Because, you know, if you leave one letter out in an email, it won't go to the right sender. So if you leave your email in the comments, I'll make sure to go back after the broadcast and email you, and then you can email me back. So we said timing. Timing is so essential to your business, guys, and many of you can't dictate the timing because you really don't have a plan, you know. And maybe, for instance, we may say, you know, my plan is to make a lot of money, but how am I going to make that happen, right? How am I going to produce those profits in my business? Carmen, hey there, it keeps freezing up on you. Oh, I'm sorry. Is anyone else having issues on Facebook? Anyone else having issues on Facebook? I'm also on Periscope, guys, if you're having issues on Facebook. If you're fine on Facebook, you can stay, but if not, Carmen, you can switch over to Periscope as well. So timing is important. We can't just, you know, okay, it's a little slow, I need to run a promotional, and let me drop that link on Facebook now and hope that someone comes. Because think about it like this: if people don't know, like, and trust you, which is something that you build up over time for things that you're doing consistently, they're less likely to do business with you. You know, how many of you actually see someone who has something, right? They may have something that you need, but because you have no idea who they are and you've only seen this marketing attempt that they made one time, you'll keep scrolling. You'll keep scrolling on Facebook. So people have to know, like, and trust you. You need a strategy, a system, and a plan in order to make that happen. And much of that is in your marketing plan, and that's definitely part of your business. Let's see. And execution. This is another thing, you know, for a successful business. All those dreams and those goals and those plans that you have to execute them in order for them to happen. Because sometimes we're telling ourselves, I'm trying so hard and I'm doing everything that I know to do. But many times we're getting information. Some of us are even taking classes, and we're not executing or implementing the information that we're getting, right? We're not implementing the information. And so a plan, guys, we cannot just do hair and think that we're going to run a successful business. There are many people who are busy, but they're not profiting. And guys, I tell you all the time, popularity does not mean profitable. Popular does not mean profitable. It just doesn't, guys. And I know we would like to think that, my goal is to get like, you know, uh, 180 likes on this particular post. But at the end of the day, as a salon and business owner, the goal is to have people to like your post who want to do business with you, who want to connect with you. You guys wouldn't imagine the number of people who inbox me to do business with me, who email me to do business with me, who actually do business with me because of my marketing on social media, right? And then I create value for them, right? I create value for them, so they begin to understand, hey, she really does know what she's talking about, right? We can't just do things haphazardly. So your commitment, your profits, and your plan is going to make a huge difference in whether or not your salon is actually successful. And remember, in the title, I said the biggest problem salons have is separating their skill set from their business. Separating their skill set from their business. And okay, so guys, we have to turn our dreams into strategies. We got to turn our dreams into strategies. One of the things I did, okay, I knew I needed front desk. I hired a coach, guys. I took classes on running a front desk effectively, right? One of the biggest things we were known for in my salon was professionalism and customer service. That's like one of the biggest pieces of pie that people are actually looking for, because people are looking for an experience. They can get their hair done anywhere. Hello, somebody. They can get their hair done anywhere. But what they remember is the experience that actually occurs while they're getting that service, right? And so you have to, that's why I say it's so important to figure out who your target market is, who are you designed, who is your skill set, your atmosphere, and your experience designed to serve. You have to know that. So what's the best idea to harvest new clients? I'll give you one, right? Because most of that I do in my consultations. This is, my free aspect, but that is what I do in most of my consultations. But new customers, I feel, is to have a referral system. I feel that everything that you guys do and generate from should be focused on what's already in your hand, right? Which are the clients that you already have, right? These are the clients that you already have. And oftentimes when we're looking for new clients, we forget about the clients that are already in our hand, right? Sometimes we get a little slack on them. Sometimes we take things for granted. But actually, the clients that you already have are going to generate your greatest income for your business. And so to answer your question about getting new customers, you can offer a referral program, right? Where you actually have a client who's had services with you, who understands your greatness, right? They already know about you, where you actually reward them for sending you a new customer, and then you reward the new customer as well. So I tell you guys all the time, start with what's already in your hand. If any of you are on and you've had a consultation with me before, you'll know that we work with what you already have. I want to see what's already going on in your hand. How can we capitalize from that? How can we build or tweak the foundation that you already have? I'm glad that you said that, because I had someone to ask me a question. How do you save the money to open a salon when you don't? You said, wow, that's a great idea. Thanks for the wonderful advice. You're more than welcome, dear. You're more than welcome. How do you save the money to open a salon with no money? And see, that puzzles me, because in my mind, this is one of the things my mentor told me. When you're thinking about opening your salon, you have to think money, guys, right? How much is it going to take me to run my salon? What are my operating expenses going to be? Because you have to decide from the clientele that you already have, right? Can I handle it? Do I have enough foundation to at least help me flow in what I'm about to do? And your foundation, for some of you, I did not get a loan when I opened my business. Some of you may have much larger visions than I had at the time that I opened my business. But some of you, your foundation might be your business credit. You might need to find out how to establish business credit so that you're eligible to get the income that you would need to open a salon. That may be one person's route. But for me, my goal was definitely to remain debt free, not to go in debt doing it. And so you have to ask yourself, have I even built up a clientele steady enough to open a salon. In your experience, have you found customers to not be loyal? I'm finding that at the moment. Um, I think that what is happening is because of social media. One, they understand that there is an opportunity to go to any stylist. Um, I think it's easier for them to go to another place, but I also feel we have to give them something to be loyal to other than just hair. Remember, I said we're creating an atmosphere, an experience, and skill set, right? And so as we begin to up level those things, as we begin to show them appreciation for them being loyal, because sometimes we can just assume that our appreciation to the client is to just serve them, but we have to realize that they can choose anybody, right? So is there anything that we may have special that we offer to them? Actually, on one of my broadcasts for the 7-day marathons, I'm going to talk about systems, right? I'm going to talk about systems. They're so important that you have those in your business. And I'm going to talk about a point system, which is a way that you guys can actually help to show your clients some appreciation for them being loyal to you. Listen, let's think about a relationship, right? You're in a relationship, and this person is doing everything, and they're coming to you, and they're spending time with you, or they're making attempts to spend time with you, and you're not doing anything extra, right? You're not showing any appreciation except what you have to do. Oftentimes that relationship kind of sizzles a little bit. If y'all know what I'm talking about, put a 1 in the comments. And you all have to understand that, doing business is really about relationships. It's really about relationships. And so you guys know I talk about leadership skills all the time, right? I talk about leadership skills all the time because a leader understands people. And then if we ever forget that we're doing business with people, hey Stockton, how are you, dear? If we ever forget that we're doing business with people, we'll forget how to relate to them as well, right? And so sometimes we got to just make sure that we're not expecting people to be loyal to us, and we're not really showing any extra appreciation for it. And those are, you guys can create systems and things, loyalty programs and things of that nature that you have to show your clients appreciation. Some people have clients that have been coming to them for 5 to 7 years, and they've never received a discount. They've never received a happy birthday card. At Christmas time, it's just, hey, how you doing? You guys get what I'm saying? And so sometimes we have to give the people something extra to be loyal to when we're looking for loyalty in our business. And it's gonna, in this day and time, it does require you to put in a little more work. But if you find who your target market is, right, who your business is designed to serve, it won't be as nearly as hard, right? It won't be as nearly as hard to maintain loyalty from your customers. Yep, it won't be nearly as hard. And part of that loyalty is continuing to be on time, using the best products, helping them with regimens for at home, right? Sometimes we're afraid to talk to them about those things. But I promise you, even with things like your retail products, if they don't purchase it from you, they're purchasing it from someone, right? I'm having trouble getting new clients for new stylists who don't really have a proven track record. Okay, so you have a employee-based salon. One of the things I did was I offered a junior stylist, a senior stylist, and master stylist program, right? When I had employees, I offered different levels, and that way the clients knew the expertise of the different people, and I charged based on their expertise. And that definitely, helped. Because oftentimes if you are attempting to get customers and have them pay top dollar for someone who's fresh out of hair school, they're a little more uncomfortable. So I created levels in my salon. That may be something that will work for you as well. And their pricing was different. Yes, that's popular here in the Philippines. Yep, that's what I did when I began to hire people who weren't as experienced, right? They weren't as experienced. Does that help, Carmen? Does that help? What are some of the things that you've been doing? Maybe I can give you some advice on tweaking something that you're already doing, Carmen. What have you been doing? Maybe I can give you some advice on tweaking some of the efforts that you're already making. Anyone else have questions while waiting? Maybe Carmen may put that in the comments. Are there any other questions while we're waiting? But yeah, we got to learn. It helped. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's definitely something to try. But guys, one thing we have to understand, remember that marketing is a whole pie, right? Say you got a whole pie and your advertising are different pieces of the pie. It's the same thing for your business. Imagine your business as a pie and there are different pieces, right, of the business that connect to make it successful. It can even be like one of the things I did for my front desk, we had a phone script. They had a phone script, guys. I mean, I know some people say, that's just too much, but hey, we were known as one of the most professional salons in the area. So, sometimes we can't worry about what we're doing that seems so different from what everyone else is doing, because sometimes the road to success is narrow. Sometimes the road to success is narrow, but we had a phone script. And one of the reasons I had a phone script is because we had policies and procedures. Like, we didn't allow children unless they were receiving service. We had a cancellation policy. And I see your question. I'll get your comment. I'll get to that. Okay, Carmen. If you didn't reschedule your appointment within the 24 hours, there was a cancellation fee. Complex thing, especially when you're starting out. Marketing can be complex, but I have answers, guys. Listen, if you've taken a class with me before and I simplified marketing for you, put a 1 in the comments on Facebook. If you've taken a class with me before and I've simplified the steps, I made it plain for you on marketing, put a 1 in the comments for me. Because one of the things that I do, I understand that most oftentimes we don't understand all of this jargon. So my goal is to come in and simplify it for you and make it easy for you to actually apply it to your business. That is what I do. Let me read Carmen's comment. She doesn't have clients and barely does her own marketing. I've been having her to do free models for pictures. Okay. So she works for the salon. She doesn't have clients. She barely does her own marketing. Okay, this is what comes in for us as leaders, right? One of the things that I did an orientation for this is business, guys. Someone said, gosh, this, seems like a Fortune 500 company, but all businesses who are successful have a basic foundation that many of us in the salon industry are just missing. And so during orientation, let's start before we get to orientation. During my interview process, one of the questions I asked them was, how do you plan to build a clientele? Guys, and I posted that on my clip yesterday. I had a list of interview questions that you guys could purchase to use for your business, because how we start out really affects how our business runs. And so that's one of the questions I asked, because you'll find out if you're doing a proper interview, if you're vetting. Remember I said yesterday, if you're vetting the people who are coming to work with you properly, a lot of the problems that we have down the road can be eliminated if we have a strong foundation in the beginning. And some of it is simply asking the right questions. So if you were coming to work with me and I asked you, how do you plan to build a clientele? In your mind, you already know, okay, building a clientele is going to be I have to participate in this. She's expecting me to participate in this. One of the things I would share is, the salon business always a roller coaster with busy days, quiet days, in your experience? Well, I was like really busy. I was honest. I was really busy. I had like a waiting list, guys, with sometimes 15 people waiting, to get in with me. That's not to say that I never experienced slow times, but my slow times, I don't think were about the industry. I think my slow times had a lot to do with me. I went through some things personally that rolled over into my business, and it affected the way that I did business. And so I had to reshift my mindset to get that back together. So when I did face slow times in my business, it was because I was going through some stuff personally, and it was rolling over into my business. And so I wasn't implementing and being the leader that I needed to be. And so that's what brought on the slow times in my business. But, other than, that season where I had some things going on personally, I really didn't have a lot of slow days. I didn't. And I do know that the earlier part of the week are slower times, generally in the industry, because, a lot of people get their hair done on, the weekend as opposed to the beginning of the week. But I help you guys create strategies that help you to build up your clientele in those weeks as well, in those days as well. She doesn't have clients. Okay. But it's been kind of hard getting her to meet me halfway with marketing. One thing I do find when people come to work with you, we've only been open for 6 weeks. Okay, I would love to help you guys. I would love to help you guys create a strategy. 1 hour with me would be amazing for you. And I'd love to help you create a strategy. You guys would, of course, be responsible for walking it out if you're only doing that 1 hour with me. But I do have I do customize packages where I can help you over a 3 months, 6 months, or year time frame, depending on your needs. But I would definitely suggest doing what's called a renew strategy session with me, where you get me for an hour, and that's going to give you some clarity and actually some strategy steps that you can take. So I would suggest that, dear. Meeting you halfway with marketing. One of the things that I realize with most stylists who come in as a employee to a salon is that they don't have to do any of the work. And so as I was talking about before, my when I would do, definitely going to do that. Okay, awesome. I look forward to it. One of the things that I did was I made sure, we talked about those things during orientation, right? I really looked at, and then I let them know that their first 90 days was really a trial period for us both, right? It was really a trial period for us both. And so I just ran it as much like a regular business as I could, but with a salon friendly atmosphere. You guys get that? And so I explained those things even in the interview time frame, like if their answer to how they would build their clientele didn't fit with what I knew it took to build a clientele, I addressed those things inside the interview. And then it made a difference in whether or not I would even hire them, because it's like, okay, maybe they're not quite ready, for what we have going on here. Now, of course, I made mistakes in hiring early on, but I learned that at the end of the day, everything that was going on in my business started at the top. And that it wasn't anything over me except the community, right? That was the only other thing that I was obligated to. So the top was me. And so if there was something that wasn't going right, I had to go back and say, okay, what didn't you do right about this process, right? What is it that you didn't address to this person about your expectations for the business in the beginning? And did you do a checks and balances? Did you check back with them? And one of my ways of doing that was to do one-on-ones with my staff. I did one-on-ones with them to kind of see where they were, and walking them through the process. I dispelled the rumor in the interview that they could just instantly create a clientele like that. If I saw that it was someone who I thought had really good potential, but they were uncertain about what it took to build a clientele, I would debunk that myth inside the interview. And then I would tell them what it actually took, and then ask them, is that something they were committed to? And then I would do a check on it, periodically. We hired a nail tech today and had to fire her today. Wow. Oh my goodness. On the same day? That's heavy right there. That's really, really heavy. Really heavy. So guys, it's, as salon owners, we have like a huge responsibility that I think we really don't realize, right? Because we can do hair. We have the ability to open the salon. But can we run it, right, profitably? Can we run it like a business? And so one of the biggest problems I think salons have is separating their skill sets from their ability to do business. And that's where I come in, right? That's where I help you guys shift your thinking on that aspect and create simple, applicable steps that you can take to maintain your clientele, grow your clients, and profit in your business. Okay, it says I need to get those interview questions today. Let me see what that link is. It's the link for the interview questions is right. Guys, if I've helped your business at all and you've been on the broadcast, do me a favor. Swipe up or right if you're on Periscope and share with another industry professional who could use the information, right? Who could use some clarity in running their business. If you're on Facebook, press the little share button on the left hand side and share out with another industry professional who could use this information. This replay will not stay up long. It'll be up for 1 hour, guys, so someone else can get the information. As we collectively begin to grow as individual salons, we actually impact our entire industry, right? And so that's my goal, to make a huge impact on the entire beauty industry. That's one of my assignments, is to make an impact on the beauty industry. Are there any more questions that anyone has today? The biggest problem I feel salons have, even hairstylists who are looking to open a salon, is most of us know hair, but we don't know business. Most of us know hair, but we don't know business. And so, guys, when you're thinking about investing, right, if you can do the bomb haircut, if you can do the bomb weave, if you do excellent color, then, and things aren't quite working, or maybe you're new to the industry and you want to make sure that you're taking some of the right steps, invest in a coach, invest in a business consultant, someone who's going to help you, run the business aspect of it. Because what happens is we spend so much time trial and error, and we learn by two ways. We either learn by our own experience, which is when we constantly just trying things over and over again, or we learn from the wisdom of others who've already gone the mile, right? And oftentimes a good business consultant has also not just learned business, but they've also owned and operated the same thing that you're attempting to do, because they've probably done some things, and they'll know some things to expect from the particular business that you have. So everyone good? Everyone good? Okay, guys, I will be back on tomorrow. The crazy thing is I don't even know what time, because I don't know what my schedule looks like. Let's say, I'm a great help, Tanya. Thank you. Were you nervous when you first started your salon? Because I am. This is going to be crazy too, guys. I was asking, this is funny that you said that, because I think the older I get, the more concerns I may have about things. But I wasn't nervous. I just felt, I think I grew up in a household where, my mom would just say, you can do anything. And that just really stuck in my head, that I could do anything. I was the commencement speaker for the graduating class of 2016. And I was nervous. Like, I was so shook. And this was only last year, right? And so that nervousness, I think, is coming. It comes more now for me than it did then. I was 30, I think, when I opened my salon. And I think I was just so connected to making it work that I didn't give myself the room to be nervous when I was opening. And then another thing, I'd done a lot of research. I'd worked with a company for years, a really great company for years that I learned a lot from. And I also had a mentor. So I think I had people around me too that that answered some of the questions that I would have had, you know what I'm saying, that would have made me nervous, because I don't know which direction to go. And so I think that might be one of the reasons I wasn't, like super nervous. But I think the nervousness came, you remember I shared with you guys that I went through a season of struggle because of what was going on in my personal life. So I think the nervousness came later when, I couldn't figure out like what was going on in my business. And I realized that my personal life was affecting how I was doing business, and it was affecting, everything that was going on in the business. And so, yeah, I got nervous then. I got nervous then. But when you do your research, if you have a mentor or a consultant or someone who's already gone the mile, that helps to ease the nervousness, right? Because they're answering some of those questions that you just generally have. Hey, sister to sister, how are you, dear? That you just generally have as a business owner or as a salon owner. And I think too, if I had possibly gone into debt, hey, darling, to do it, I probably would have been a little more nervous then too. But I cut my expenses like really low before I opened the business, and then I bought everything straight out. And so, I think it's added pressure. This is just me personally. I'm glad you're doing well, Miss Rhonda. And so I think it's just added nervousness when we not only got to figure out how to make the business work, but now we got this extra debt over our head from, kind of going into debt to actually make it happen. I think that can add on to it too. But a vision and a plan, always. You are debt free. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. A plan and a vision will help you to overcome some of the nervousness because you're focusing on doing the next step. And as you move from step to step within your plan and you see it working or maybe not working like you would like for it to do, you know that it just needs to be tweaked. And then it's, and now I have this new thing that I'm focusing on because it's the next step in my plan. But if you don't really have a direction for, where it's headed next, that can cause some nervousness. I probably should have been nervous, guys, in all honesty. When I look back on it now, I actually had that conversation with myself. I was like, wow, I don't remember being nervous. It's just like, okay. But, I had also been planning for a long time. It just felt like it's time. I've grinded behind the scenes for about 10 years. If we're going to do this, let's go. And that's kind of where I was with that. Yep. But if you are nervous, it's nothing odd. I don't think it's odd at all, right? Because we're concerned about our future and